Welcome to the deep dive. You know how sometimes your finances just feel, well, draining, like you're putting in the work, but maybe not really getting ahead?
hmm Yeah.
Well, today we're diving into a concept from your inner alchemist that kind of reframes this whole thing: financial energy.
Right. It suggests money isn't just, numbers on a spreadsheet. It's more dynamic, tied to how we earn, spend, save, but also our attitudes, our beliefs about it all.
Exactly. Think about the sheer mental energy we pour into worrying about money sometimes. So, this deep dive is really about finding a better way to handle that energy.
Yeah, it's fascinating. We can track every single penny meticulously, but completely miss the emotional baggage we carry around money. The source argues that managing this financial energy mindfully, and this is key, aligning it with your values.
Mm,
That's not just about getting rich. It's about building a solid foundation for your overall energy, your well-being. Feeling genuinely good about your financial life,
right.
whatever your income level.
Right. So, our mission today is to sort of unpack how to cultivate this financial energy, how to achieve what the book calls purpose driven wealth.
Mm.
And if you're thinking that just means, okay, more cash, it's actually deeper than that. It's about clarity, being intentional, feeling empowered really with your financial choices.
Yeah, imagine your finances fueling your growth, personally and professionally, instead of being this source of stress.
And what's really cool is the sources we're drawing on here explore the usual stuff like budgeting, sure, but also some less expected ways to tap into this energy.
It really all starts with having some direction, doesn't it? The source really emphasizes setting specific financial goals. Without that clear target, our financial energy just kind of gets scattered.
Yeah, like trying to drive somewhere new without GPS. You're moving, but where are you going?
Exactly.
Okay, so let's unpack that goal setting bit. We all know we should save more, right?
Yeah.
But the book says clear goals act like a laser. They help prioritize everything: spending, saving. It mentions the usual suspects: emergency fund, paying down debt, retirement, even investing in yourself, like skills.
hmm
But here's the thing: how specific do they really need to be to like actually make a difference to that day to day energy?
That's a great question, and that's where this exercise in the source comes in. It's really insightful. It says it's not enough to just vaguely say, oh, I want to save more.
Hmm.
You got to pick one specific measurable goal. So instead of just build an emergency fund, it's more like I will save, say, $3,000 in my emergency fund by December 31st.
Hmm.
That's specificity. It makes it real. It creates a target, a deadline, and that channels your financial energy way more effectively. It's not just a wish anymore.
Yeah, okay, that clicks. It's like saying I'll run a 5K in 3 months versus just I want to get fitter. One's a plan. Okay, so we've got clear targets. What's like the biggest energy drain we should probably tackle head on? Seems kind of obvious.
Oh, absolutely.
Hmm.
It's debt. The source is super clear about this. Debt is like this constant leak in your financial energy tank.
Yeah.
Those payments, the interest piling up, it's stressful, and it really limits your freedom to chase those goals you just said.
And the book really stresses prioritizing, right?
Yeah.
Not just paying any debt, but strategically focusing on the high interest stuff first, like credit cards. That makes sense.
Totally.
You plug the biggest leaks first to stop losing so much energy, basically. Get the biggest reduction in drag.
Exactly. And the practical tip here is interesting because it gives you two ways to think about it. The snowball and the avalanche method.
Right. I've heard of those.
So avalanche hitting the highest interest rates first, that saves you more money mathematically, right?
Mm-hmm.
But the snowball method, knocking out the smallest debts first,
Mm.
that gives you these quick wins. Psychologically, that can be huge for motivation.
Ah. Okay, so it's not just pure math.
Not at all. The source smartly points out the best method isn't always the most mathematically optimal one. It's the one you will actually stick with. The one that keeps you motivated, keeps your financial energy focused on making progress.
So know thyself, basically. Understand what keeps you in the game.
You got it.
Okay, so we're setting goals, we're strategizing debt. How do we actually get a grip on where the money's going day to day? That feels crucial for managing this energy.
It absolutely is. And that brings us straight to budgeting and tracking spending. Now, I know the word budget, it sounds restrictive, right?
Doesn't
On the
make
financial
sense.
diet,
Listen to you.
but the source reframes it really nicely.
Hmm.
It's not about deprivation, it's about clarity. Seeing where your financial energy is actually flowing so you can make conscious choices that support your goals, your priorities.
Hmm.
It's about taking back control.
I like that reframe. Intentionality, not restriction. Okay.
And the book explains how a budget basically lines up your income, what's coming in with your expenses, what's going out. It helps make sure your spending actually reflects what you say matters to you.
Yeah, if you say security is number one, but you're spending loads on impulse buys, there's a mismatch in your energy flow.
Exactly right. And there's another practical exercise here.
Mhm.
It's not just about creating that monthly budget,
Mm-hmm.
income, fixed costs like rent, variable stuff like food and fun,
Right.
but also tracking your spending weekly. That weekly check-in, it gives you real-time feedback.
Ah, so you can adjust quickly if you're off track.
Precisely. You see where you might need to tweak things. And interestingly, the source even says include a fun fund in your budget.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah, it acknowledges that enjoying life is also a priority. It stops the budget feeling too harsh, which, let's be honest, is often why people ditch them.
Makes it sustainable, not just financial boot camp.
Exactly.
Hmm.
Sustainable financial energy management.
Okay, cool. Now, shifting gears a little,
Okay.
our mindset, it seems like that plays a surprisingly big part in this whole financial energy thing, doesn't
Oh,
it?
absolutely. A huge part.
The source talks about this contrast, scarcity mindset versus abundance mindset. It sounds like more than just being optimistic or pessimistic.
It really is. It's about your fundamental beliefs about whether there's enough to go around. And these beliefs, often unconscious, deeply affect our financial behavior.
How so? Like, what does a scarcity mindset look like in action?
Well, the source describes it as being rooted in this fear of lack, of not having enough.
Hmm.
And that fear can lead to weird behaviors. Sometimes hoarding, sometimes, ironically, impulsive spending, like you need to grab things now out of anxiety.
Wow, okay, so it creates this negative loop, stress, maybe bad decisions,
Yeah,
draining that energy.
exactly. It's like this constant background anxiety.
So what's the alternative? How do we flip that script?
That's where cultivating an abundance mindset comes in. It's the core belief that there are enough resources, not just for you, but for everyone. And that belief tends to encourage more positive habits, thoughtful saving, investing strategically, even generosity. It shifts the focus from fear to possibility to growth, much more energizing.
Okay, but how do you actively cultivate that? It sounds nice, but changing deep beliefs is hard.
It takes practice. The source offers some tools like affirmations for financial abundance,
Affirmations. Okay, some people might find that a bit woo-woo.
maybe, but the psychology behind it is sound. Consistent repetition can help rewire those neural pathways over time. It's about consciously directing your thoughts.
Okay, I'm intrigued. Give me an example from the book.
Sure. One is, I am capable of creating wealth that aligns with my values. See how that connects back to purpose-driven wealth?
Yeah.
Another one, money flows to me freely and supports my purpose. The idea is repeating these regularly helps challenge those old limiting money stories we tell ourselves. It fosters a more positive, empowered relationship with finance, boosts that overall financial energy.
Like training your brain, consciously planting positive seeds. Okay, now let's talk practicalities again. Saving less of a chore, more automatic, because manually moving money each month, it's easy to just not do it. Oh, absolutely. And this is why automatic savings and investment plans are so incredibly powerful. The source really hammers home the ease and effectiveness of automating it.
How does that work exactly?
You just set up automatic transfers, maybe a fixed amount from your checking to savings each payday, or regular contributions to your retirement account. You prioritize your future self without thinking about it every single time. It removes that decision point where impulse spending might win.
Takes the willpower out of it.
Exactly. Ensures consistent progress with minimal effort. Frees up your mental energy.
And it specifically mentions retirement planning, right?
Yeah.
Even small amounts, automated, add up massively over time.
Hugely important. Compounding is like magic over the long term.
Yeah.
It builds that security, that peace of mind. It's playing the long game with your financial energy.
Right.
And it's not just for retirement, which can feel really far away sometimes. The source also points out how great automatic savings are for shorter-term goals, too, like saving for a vacation or a down payment or fixing up the house.
All right. Just knowing that money is steadily building up in the background for those things you want, it reduces stress massively, makes those goals feel real, achievable, fuels that positive energy.
Okay, so we've got the big pillars: goals, debt, budgeting, mindset, automation, solid foundation. But the source also gets into some lesser-known techniques for financial empowerment. Now, this sounds fun, where things get a bit quirky.
They do. A little unconventional, perhaps. First up, a financial vision board.
Like a Pinterest board, but for money.
Kinda, yeah. But physical. You gather images, quotes, maybe even numbers, things that represent what financial freedom feels like to you. Pictures of places you want to go, a house, symbols of success, that feeling of security, whatever resonates.
Okay, and what do you do with it?
Put it somewhere you'll see it often. your office, your bedroom. It acts as this constant visual reminder of your why, a subconscious motivator. It helps to direct your financial energy using visualization.
That's interesting, making abstract goals feel more tangible, more emotional. Okay, what else is in this toolkit?
Next one might raise a few eyebrows. Using essential oils for financial focus.
Essential oils for finance. Okay, tell me more.
Yeah, the source mentions specific ones like rosemary and peppermint, often linked to concentration, alertness, and basil sometimes associated with mental clarity, fighting fatigue.
So the idea is,
The suggestion is to diffuse them, or maybe apply a little when you're doing financial tasks, budgeting, planning investments. The intention is to sharpen your focus, cut down distractions, make the process feel maybe a bit more pleasant or focused.
wow, okay. Definitely connects the physical and sensory to finance in a way I hadn't considered. And the last one of these techniques,
This one's about body language for financial confidence.
how you hold yourself affects your finances.
The idea is, yes, consciously adopting confident body language, standing tall, open posture, making eye contact, speaking clearly, especially in financial situations like asking for a raise or meeting an advisor. It can actually influence how you feel inside.
Fake it till you make it, kind of.
Sort of. It's about embodying that feeling of control, of empowerment around money. And that feeling can reinforce itself and actually influence your actions and outcomes, boost that internal financial energy.
Interesting. Using the mind-body connection.
Mm.
Okay. So bringing it all together, the source wraps up with a financial energy roadmap exercise. What's that all about? Sounds like a synthesis.
Exactly. It's designed to help you pull all these pieces, the goals, values, strategies, into one cohesive, actionable plan. Like a visual map for your financial journey. Helps you track progress, stay aligned, make sure your daily actions move you forward.
Okay, sounds useful. Let's walk through the steps. Where do you start?
Step 1. Define your core financial values. Really dig deep. What truly matters to you about money? Is it security, freedom, generosity, growth, learning?
So finding your why for the money stuff.
Precisely. Understanding those core values provides the motivation, ensures your energy is going towards what genuinely resonates.
Makes sense. What's next after values?
Then you set short-term and long-term goals that are directly tied to those values. So if security is a value, an emergency fund is a goal.
Yeah.
If freedom is a value, maybe retiring early or starting a business is a long-term goal.
Okay, linking values to tangible goals. Then what? How do you make it happen?
Step 3 is crucial. Break goals into actionable steps.
Yeah.
This is where the rubber meets the road. For each goal, what specific things will you do? Create the budget. Cut this specific expense. Set up that automatic transfer.
Making it manageable, bite-sized chunks.
Exactly. Translating big dreams into daily or weekly actions.
Got it. How do you stay motivated on this roadmap journey?
Step 4. Celebrate milestones. Super important. The source says acknowledge your progress. Doesn't have to be huge, small, meaningful rewards when you hit certain points.
Like paying off a credit card.
Yeah.
Or hitting 25% of your savings goal.
Yeah. Celebrate those wins. It keeps momentum going, reinforces the good habits, keeps that financial energy positive and flowing.
Love that. Building in rewards. And the final step.
The final step is essential for the long haul. Reflect and adjust your roadmap regularly. Life changes, right? Your income might change, priorities shift, maybe even your values evolve.
Sure.
So you need to periodically check in. Review the map, see how you're doing, make tweaks to keep it relevant and aligned with where you are now and where you want to go. Keeps your energy focused and effective.
Okay. So wrapping this all up, this deep dive into financial energy, it really highlights that purpose-driven wealth isn't just about the number in your account.
Not at all.
It's really about consciously lining up your money actions with your deep values, creating this like harmonious energy flow that actually supports your goals, your life, your well-being.
Precisely. We've covered a lot, setting those clear goals, tackling debt strategically, the power of mindful budgeting, cultivating that abundance mindset, and definitely the ease of automating savings.
Right, the foundational stuff. And then those more unconventional techniques too, vision boards, maybe essential oils if that resonates, even just paying attention to your posture to feel more confident.
Yeah, all these pieces work together. They help you approach money, not with fear or stress, hopefully, but with clarity, intention, and real empowerment.
Shifting from feeling like money controls you to feeling like you're in the driver's seat. Unlocking that positive financial energy.
That's the goal.
So, for you listening, here's something to think about. Considering everything we've talked through today, how could managing your financial energy more consciously, really aligning money with your values, how could that maybe unlock unexpected good things? opportunities, a deeper sense of fulfillment that's, bigger than just money? What's one small thing, one concrete step you could take, maybe even today, to start shifting your financial energy in a more purposeful, more empowering direction? Something to ponder until our next deep dive.